Hello and welcome to another dose of SirToshi's podcast. I'm here with Nicky New, aka Bitcoin Tramp, or the Drippy Cowboy, as his new name would like to be. So let's get into it. So experience the best of both worlds today at bitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, let's cue the music.
It's SirToshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the terror node, you'll surely see.
There we go. Drippy Cowboy, are you there?
Are you getting me?
Mate, you crack. You do make me laugh, mate.
How are you, Toshi, man? You good, yeah?
Mate, I'm all right. I'm all right. It's always good to have a banter with you, mate. Always good.
Another dose with Tosh, mate. That's what you should have called it. Another dose with Tosh.
Yeah, it's a good one. Dose with Tosh.
Toshi, guess what, mate? I've got some brilliant news here.
Go for it.
You know that gambling thing?
The
that
gambling
you just
thing.
before the show, yeah?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to use it, mate, because I found out this morning my 0.22 BSV is worth $9.
Hey, nice.
Oh, thank you. I know.
Mate, you're welcome.
So I think I'm going to gamble it, mate. I might just gamble it and see if I can turn it into something. You got any tips for me?
Yeah. Just make sure you log on to www.betbsv.com and sign up through the link.
Mate, if they got odds on Craig appealing for Craig applying for an appeal, because
They should have, shouldn't they?
10-1. It was when I saw it online, Ben.
Was it?
Sorry, yeah. According to what I've seen, right, I was wondering if you could clear this up for me and perhaps the other viewers. According to what I saw, he wasn't appealing. But then you never know what to believe these days, do you?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, he'd be crazy not to appeal because, and again, this is something else I figured. It's just so, honestly, mate, what went on was just an absolute joke. So what he went to, was a facade. It was a deception. It wasn't a trial because, the law says everybody is entitled to a fair trial. That was not a trial because only cross-examination was enabled, which is where you basically rip into pieces anybody who wants to give evidence. So you're not actually extracting the evidence out of it. You're only hearing the discredited side. And the fact they were using a court, or supposedly a court, for that purpose when it wasn't a court of law. So what they've basically done is they've created a contract and they said, right, do you agree to this contract and be bound by the quotes what the judge says? I mean, what that should have been, the entire exercise was contempt of court. It was literally a waste of public money. There is no court should be used for private contracts. Which is what that was between Copa and Craig, which is why they were like, yeah, because there's nothing to do with law and it's a private contract. We're only going to hear, cross-examination from quoted witnesses under cross-examination, and I mean that's how they were able to bring these, supposedly independent witnesses that got ripped to pieces. They weren't independent witnesses at all. They would have been discredited, but because it wasn't actually a court case taking place. They can do whatever they want. So, yeah, I mean, absolutely, Craig has got to appeal it. He got royally screwed over.
I do remember that guy bringing some of that stuff up, though, about how these people were all connected, and Mela didn't seem to give the monkeys.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, mate, they're all in on it. They've properly stitched him up.
But what I'm trying to find out, right, really, okay, obviously you feel strongly about that, and I'm sure a lot of people do, Toshi, yeah. I don't, mate. I still think he got bummed. I'm still laughing at him, if I'm honest. Sorry about that.
He did get bummed.
Oh, mate, he got bumped royally. And I'm just wondering if he's appealed or not. Because if he hasn't appealed, then, does all that stuff stand?
Well, he had to apply to appeal.
Yeah, but has he applied to appeal? Because according to what I'm reading, he hasn't. I'm just wondering, do you know anything about that?
Well, let's look at his profile.
And I wouldn't trust his social media as well, because we don't know, do we, whether that's him or not.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going on second-hand knowledge, but his profile that he claims to control says CPR, that's Court Procedure Rules, PD 5A, paragraph 5.1. A document which is filed electronically is to be treated as filed on the day on which it is recorded by the court, as having been received by the court at the place where the proceedings are being conducted. And then he's just got here 5th of August to, and then I think it says like 09, so that was what, 09, 8th of August 2024. Yeah, so it looks like between those two dates, the 5th to the 9th, and it just says filing N161 permission to appeal. So I'm guessing that's what he's filed by the looks of it.
That account is in, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, unless we go on court records and stuff, but I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's, you know, I'm a third party to this, so it's kind of like, you know, whether he does or whether he doesn't, there's nothing I can do about it, you know. I mean, I've got an opinion, but you know, it doesn't really count for anything.
Well, you know, this is it, isn't it? And yeah, I mean, it looks to me out there like they're celebrating the fact that he hasn't applied. And I've even seen things like, despite what it says online and all this stuff on his social media, that we can confirm nothing's been received and all that.
Well, if you ask me, I personally think that is just simply a tactic to try and get people to sell their bags of BSV. They don't want anybody holding Bitcoin. Bitcoin is literally their kryptonite. It is literally like it's the asset that finances the world's first ever immutable digital ledger, and they don't want immutable data. Yeah, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to deceive people. You know, take from one, give in one hand, take from the other, and all this kind. This is what they do. They've been playing at this for thousands of years, mate. Thousands of years.
Yeah, but BSV's bum's gone a little bit, hasn't it? It's not looking too rosy in terms of the asset, is it? In terms of the asset increasing, shall we say?
Well, yeah, but we're just waiting for Terranode. But I mean, I've just got a picture here that's come up on the screen where literally it was Lord Sumpter, who was the former Chief Justice, or former Chief of Justice. There's a quote here of him saying, "The British public has not even begun to understand the seriousness of what is happening in our country." And again, because everything's been corrupted since 1st of January 1973, many, perhaps most of them, don't care, or don't care until it's too late. They instinctively feel that the ends justify the means, the motto of every totalitarian regime that has ever existed. This is what's coming on. People have no idea. And a totalitarian dictatorship cannot exist in a society or economy that is using a genuine money, because they can't enrich themselves. You know, so what they've had to do, they've spent all these years defrauding us into like securitizing gold, then removing gold from the certificates, and they can just print that shit as much as they want. Then they went digital. Then they like installed central banks around the world. You know, I mean, this is what's happening, and the only thing that can stop it is BSV, which is why I've got nothing to lose by just supporting it with everything I've got.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're on a small team of support, though. That's a massive problem, I think. No one, you know, we go through this quite a lot, Toshi, don't we? The actual team of support out there, literally, is small drabs of people.
Well, and, for the moment, I mean, like there is no other digital network that can support the digital, or that can support or facilitate the digital requirements of Aerospike. You know, that require about 300 million transactions per second, and more. Even even the CBDCs that we don't want, but there's no other network that can actually support it. BSV can do everything.
Yeah, it's true, mate. I mean, you say, well, I don't know if it's true. I mean, you say it's true, so I'll obviously take your word for it. But there's other people who mutter the same thing about their blockchains as well.
Well, yeah, but people can say what they want. I mean, they're hoodwinking you. Yeah, I mean, of course, thieves and liars are going to say that. You know, that's why you have to actually look under the bonnet to see what's going on. Like I said before, you've got a Ferrari and a Robin relying on the start line, and I'm telling people, look, they switch the engines. Other people like you are going, look, I don't care, mate. It looks fucking great. I'm just going to have it. Because I'm just like, all right, well, let's just wait. Let's just wait till the race starts. Do you know what I mean?
Can I just clear up for the listeners, guys? Yeah, I'm the drippy cowboy. Yeah, and I don't invest. I don't understand any of you with your investments, right? And I'm just an entrepreneur. I do try and explain that. So I'm only looking at stuff that we can use, or I was looking at stuff that we can use because we're not that interested anymore. But I can categorically tell you, Toshi, when you do look around, there's many other people out there who feel as strongly as about their blockchain, whether they work or not. It's a bit like going into the Amazon forest, yeah, and finding one of these tribes and trying to explain to them that that piece of wood with that stuff inside that they've been worshipping for years as their god is not their god, and trying to explain, they're going to do you, right? They're going to do you immediately. They're going to cover you in fire ants, yeah, and they'll stick you on a stick, mate, and they'll make an example of you because in their head, that piece of wood with the stuff in it is the god, and it has been for thousands of years. But then if you go to India, they'll tell you that Vishnu with the wings and that, and Ganeshi and all this sort of stuff. You know, I'm not sort of saying anyone's right or wrong, Toji, but I'm saying there's people out there that have the same beliefs in these coins, like religions, where you can't tell them. You know what I mean? In Algorand, bro, I've met many in brackets SirToshis, yeah, like watered down versions of you, mate. Not on your level, yeah. You're not on your level, mate. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just talking people out there that feel strongly about a coin, and they're bloody convincing, mate. Like, you know, imagine me and you selling windows. Yeah, we do. You and I both know that if me and you turned up at someone's house selling windows, we do really well.
Yeah.
Whether we like the windows or not, you and I would probably do really well. We'd be in there for a cup of tea, right? You know, once you're in there with a cup of tea, out comes the contract, out comes the pen. It sits on the little table. We will have a nice time. We talk about the country, don't we? Hey, we echo their sentiments, and then all of a sudden, bang! Right? There's loads of people out there like that, Toshi, that can sell as well. That can sell their cryptocurrencies, and you dread to think what's happening when some of these big bosses are going into places and are having this colourful language coming back at them. Oh, it does this, it does that. We can do 300 million a second because they're muttering it as well. You know, they're all bloody muttering it as well, mate.
Yeah, but are they proving it?
Well, you know, who's you know what I mean? I don't think so.
Well, exactly. You know, I mean, BSV has already been seen 2 weeks solid. Not a single fault.
You look at Ethereum, and it's a bottle job.
Yeah.
It really is a bottle job. You know, it's got all the it's all singing, all dancing, like you say, on the surface. But you know, as an entrepreneur, you do get put off with it, Tosh, because of the fees as it scales, as people start using it.
Yeah. Well, have you seen that latest? I think it's Bitcoin LFG said Ethereum flag raised at Wall Street, bull run is back. I mean, literally. So it says Bitwise Ethereum ETF, and it's got ETHW with a flag on it. Literally, and this is literally on the Wall Street Stock Exchange. Like, it's insane, mate. It's absolutely insane what's going on.
You get these influencers going on about alt season. What's alt season? What are you talking about, alt season? What is alt season, Toshi, then? Right? What they think it means is this time where, right, for this is the season now where everything goes consistently up. That's what it means.
Yeah, I mean, it would do if you had the likes of Tether, you know, printing their Wonga.
Well, I was watching something about Tether a couple of days ago, and the criminals are loving Tether, it would appear.
Well, mate, when people feel as though they're getting rich, you know, and they think they're onto a good thing, you know, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They'll just go along with it.
You're missing my point, mate. I'm saying the criminals around the world, according to what I was watching, they love a bit of Tether. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can move the thing, and everyone accepts it as dollars everywhere, don't they? It's mad.
Yeah.
You know? So it's almost as good as Monero for a lot of them, because there are ways you can, you know, mix it up and wash it and thing it around, and like, here's your cocaine money. Yep, there's for the 2 lorries. There you go. Let's do business again sometime. Here's your Tether.
Yeah, it's crazy, mate.
So, you know, when we have these conversations, it's interesting because, you know, you sit on the righteous side, but most people don't sit on the righteous side.
Yeah.
You know, it's mad, Toshi, isn't it? Like if someone, I think if you ask most people if they could have a little earner for cash, yeah, all you've got to do is go in town, go and sit there for 10 minutes, go here and do that quickly. You'll be back home in 1 hour with some pie and mash, right? 250 notes, and it's an easy one. No one will know about it. It's cash in hand. You just got to nip up there, do that, go see a man about a dog, and hey presto, what a great Friday you've had. You sat there with. I think a lot of people would take that deal.
Yeah, especially these days, people are getting squeezed, getting
Very,
desperate.
yeah, very squeezed, man. It's well expensive out there, isn't it?
Mate, it's nuts, and that's nothing compared to what's coming.
Mm.
Literally, you're talking about like the kind of hyperinflation that you saw in Germany after World War One, mate. The amount of currency that they printed in 2020, mate, is five times what they've done there. It's insane. People have no idea. It's literally financial terrorism, mate. But again, the only way to stop this is Bitcoin, and that's why the criminals don't want it. Those criminals who are orchestrating this, because they're asset stripping the world. They can literally get any asset that they want under their control because they can print this fiat currency for free, for nothing. And people are, oh yeah, people just bend over for it, don't they? They're just like, oh here, go, I'll give you more. No, I don't want that. Oh, how about a little bit more?
And Tether as well, like Tether's the same. But like, obviously, I don't understand why they just sit there printing money, Toshi. I've always thought that all along. They just print it.
Well, it's securities fraud,
Quantitative easing or whatever they try and dress it up as.
Yeah, that's right.
Just printing money. Just tell it how it is. Don't try and put syllables on it.
Yep.
But what Toshi's saying out there. People who's listening to this is very expensive. I don't know how you're finding it in your part of the world, but England is very expensive. I would say at the moment, a pint of beer down here, Toshi, you're looking at £6 standard.
Yeah, mate, that's more than a roast dinner used to be.
Right? And it's more than a roast dinner. And then you're looking at say something like a McDonald's these days, yeah.
Oh, mate, don't tell me you still look at McDonald's.
Mate, I look at it because I like the index of it as an economic reference as well as very occasional food, yeah, right.
What you like? You like eating children?
You what?
Oh mate,
You're trying to get banned off YouTube again, are you? You've got to sort these conspiracies out, brother. Yeah, look, listen. I just walk past the McDonald's every now and then, guys, and have a cheeseburger. Yeah,
right. Oh mate, that is grim.
Like this, they're probably sold in the time of this conversation. They probably sold over 10 million in the UK.
Yeah, I know, mate. Do you lick your chops after you've had a Mackie D's, do you?
Yeah, I love it, mate.
You know what they got in there? the special other white meat.
Get yourself banned, go on. What is it? Your Corey special white meat, is it? Yeah, a fucking half pounder, mate.
That's right, you got it.
No, I mean, look,
they don't call it a Big Mac for nothing if it was made out of that.
Listen, mate, you know what I'm saying. Look, right, you got your things, yeah. Let's talk about it privately if you don't mind, yeah.
Yeah, mate,
right?
yeah.
I'm just saying economically to Toshi, I might look at it as a reference, right? How much is a Big Mac these days? How much is a cheeseburger these days? How much is a meal in a McDonald's these days? £6 or £7.
And I think I can't remember who it was. One of the American senators was saying, because general food, organic food is getting so expensive these days. Everybody should go eat McDonald's. They're literally trying to encourage people to go and eat junk food.
I have to encourage people to go there because I think in England, somewhere like England, Toshi, the way people are living with the inconvenience of life and everyone rushing around, right, and the price of McDonald's, I suppose, compared to say trying to get that organic food is very comparable. A lot of families who don't care about health as much,
it fills you up, doesn't it? I suppose
it's not that good for you, like in my opinion, in general, but I suppose if you've done some exercise and you've lost a lot of salt, you could argue that it'd actually be good for you at the right time, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're on your deathbed and you're dying of starvation, there's justification for eating McDonald's.
Yeah, well, a lot of people eat Toshi, mate, and I can't imagine your diet is perfect, or anyone's diet is perfect in this day and age. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying. Well, yeah, I'm trying my best, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fair enough, mate. I personally think people eat too much food. Yeah,
Yeah, there is that.
and I think food is like, in my opinion, worse than a lot of drugs, right? And I see a lot of people out there that are actually quite obese in that. That's
Yeah.
not good for you. And on the subject of McDonald's, Toshi, something I don't like about what they do is that if you walk down the middle of our town centre, I don't know if it's the same in yours or whether you've noticed it or not, but in the periphery of your vision to the right and left, these adverts that you don't really notice, right? Because no one really looks at them because they're just on the bloody town in the middle. No one cares about them. They're all McDonald's and KFC. Yeah. And
Mm.
there's about 7 or 9 in a short walk where I live, right? But they're in the freaking periphery, mate. Yeah. And then you hear people around them going stuff like, you know something, yeah. I fancy well, I really fancy a Big Mac all of a sudden. You hear them saying it, Toshi.
Mm.
So neuroscience or whatever they're doing, but that they are playing games with people, you know.
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's well expensive to eat out. And there's one more thing I'll say, which is quite interesting on this subject, Toshi. There's a place in town called Charlie's Angels, right? Who made some music for them. Yeah. So I've made the R&B song that they put on their site and all that sort of stuff. We've got a nice relationship now. And what they do is you can go in there and you can get organic fruit and veg for about 20 pence for a bag.
Wow.
And the reason is because they go around town and they've made deals with all the shops where they take surplus food that's that shop hasn't been able to sell.
Mm.
That's about to perish maybe in 2 or 3 days, right? And sell it off at basically whatever you want to put in their till.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you haven't got nothing, you just say, well, I ain't got nothing. So some people put £20, some people put 20 pence. But the point I'm trying to make, Toshi, right? There's so much food. Actually, when you look at it, there's so much food available. There's places like that now where you can actually get organic fruit and veg, and it's well cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I know people that work in sort of like places like Krispy Kremes and Greggs and all that, and they said literally the amount of waste, food waste that's not actually waste, perfectly brand new packaged,
Yeah,
food literally just thrown out in the skip. Literally tons and tons and tons of it every day, all going to waste.
yeah,
It is crazy.
it's crazy.
And you know what we had? We actually had near where I was. They had like a pay as you feel kind of cafe for those
Yeah,
people who are struggling. And so
yeah.
so literally, if you were struggling and just feed your family, you could go in there and you would get free food. And guess what started happening?
Go on.
Right? So they would receive calls from people and they were saying, "Oh, are you still doing free food?" And they'd be like, "Yeah." And be like, "Oh, great. Can we send an Uber Eats down to collect it, or can we send a taxi for
Yeah,
it and put it in a
complete.
taxi?" So they're
Um,
paying for a taxi to go and collect their their free food for them.
unbelievable,
Honestly, mate, just
unbelievable. Well, what some people are saying is happening in this one was a customer I know who goes in there say they saw a person come in there and there was 2 crates of eggs, Toast. There was about 40 odd eggs. And they went, "Oh, I could do with these," and so I could few of my mates. I'm having these, and off they went. And they didn't even put a penny in. They were saying, you know.
yeah, the state
So
of play these
eventually,
days.
oh, it's just this. Eventually, you know what, Tosh? I'm not going to sit here and sound like an angel, yeah. But I do. I always put the money in there. Sometimes a bit more,
It's very good
and
of you.
it's cheaper than shopping,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And then sometimes I put a bit less, yeah. But if I've got sod all on me, do you know what? Yeah, I just put my hand up and say, "Listen, I've got no cash today. I'm taking these, right? But I want you to know I appreciate these, but I've got no cash today on me, right?
Mm.
To just be polite and say to them, and not be embarrassed about that. Just be real with them. But I think eventually what will happen is people will scurry in there and then do the off skis.
Well, yeah,
Because if
it's free, so
as exactly
it's
as
like
we were saying before, Toshi, if you give people an inch, they will take a yard.
yeah, especially if it's free. Like there needs to be some kind of value attached to it, or else people
Yeah,
will not value it.
yeah, that's right. Not everyone, but most people won't value it. You're right. It's just seen as this guy was in there the other day. Like you come in and I think he was homeless or something, or he's just managed to get a new house, and you know, he looks a bit sorry and that, and then he's had his meal and he's saying, "Thank you very much." Look, he's burping, going, "Bleh, bleh. Oh, thank you, lovely," and off he went.
Just like that.
Just like that, gone with the wind, you know. But that's the thing. That's technically, he's not doing anything wrong by that. That's what they sort of do.
Well, this is kind of like, well, if people are being squeezed, which they are being squeezed economically, because these fraudsters can print currency from nothing and just basically distribute it out to their mates, leaving those who don't have anything. Yeah, those who don't know anything, those who don't have anything are gonna get desperate. You know, it just you're constantly increasing the divide between rich and poor. You know, until you're gonna squeeze those people that are desperate. You know, and then anybody who tries to help them feels like they're just getting screwed over. Like I had a friend of mine the other day. She said that she came out from shopping and there was a guy like begging, just begging for spare cash and all that, and she gave him 10p, and he looked at it and he goes, "Is that it?" like he expected something more, and she was like, "You know what? I'm never ever giving any of these people anything, any money again."
I mean, 10p is probably, you'd say, modern day tuppence, wouldn't you, these days?
Yeah, but still, from just saying, if somebody's begging, which is what they were doing, beggars can't be choosers, because that's what he was doing. He was begging. It's like, okay, well, there you go. You got something for nothing. Oh,
well, doesn't that highlight how rich our country is when the beggars turn around and start going, "Hey, mate, excuse me, mate, come back here, you just give me that."
Yeah, you tight git. What do you think you're doing?
Yeah, £4 minimum. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't walk past here and just chuck in £3.20.
Yeah, it's nuts, mate.
You know, sat there in a tweed jacket drinking an £8 bottle of red wine out of the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, mate. It's it's well expensive out there. Money is. I do agree with you, Toshi, that they're not on the same levels. Obviously, I'm not as into it as you, but I understand, mate. The money system is bad. It's flawed.
Mate, it's a fraud, is what it is. It's more than flawed. It's purposely corrupt.
People just don't care or understand.
Like, well, yeah, they're too ignorant. You know, and and again, who knows? But I mean, it's not like I can go down the pub and go, "Oh yeah, let's talk about economics."
Yeah, no, everyone's going to punch me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like, I guess there are people who like listening to my show because it's kind of like I'm finally reaching an audience who are just like, "Oh, actually, I'm actually interested in what you're saying." Otherwise, I wouldn't be listening to you. But generally, just kind of like down the pub, people are they're just like, "Oh, who's Britney Spears?" Jumped into bed with next. That's literally all it is. Or like, who won Love Island? What's the goss and all this kind of stuff. It's just drivel, mate.
Well, that's how people are, though, Toshi. That's what we've been saying all along. No one's really interested in all this crap that Craig spouts out. I think the only sort of people that are interested in it are either the very small amount of geeks, right, or geeky type of people, or people who genuinely care about that stuff. But there ain't many.
Yeah, but I think they've dumbed people down over the years, mate. Literally, they're injecting their kids at a really young age with this stuff that soft metals that goes straight to their brain that makes them all retarded, and calcifying the pineal gland and all that. People just aren't. I think they've done it on purpose, mate, because there's a select group of people who are doing this and they know what they are doing and they are interested in everything, which is why they own everything.
Well,
literally,
your pineal gland's gone, isn't it?
It did do, mate. Literally, I mean, you knew what I was like when I was going through it, mate. Jeepers, I was a mess.
Yeah. But hey, no one does care though, do they? That's why it's a difficult thing to get out. And I think the only one of the ways it could be done is literally putting it in very basic language. I think obviously if you don't speak in basic language like the Sun newspaper, then you'll never get anything across, will you, to the masses that you're talking about in these places?
Well, mate, have you ever sat down at a cafe and literally had like the Sun, the Mirror, the Star, the Times, the Daily Mail? Yeah. It's all the same shit. It's the same shit.
I wouldn't read a paper now. I haven't picked up a paper for 15, 20 years.
Oh god, well, mate, I haven't for a long time, but when I used to just go down, treat myself now and again to a greasy spoon, fry up, supporting the local businesses, I would read these papers and my head would hurt. I'd be like, what drivel have I just read? There is nothing in here, you know?
Yeah, it was just some editor's opinion, really, isn't it? At the end
Oh,
of the day. So that's why I like the internet. At least there's a little bit more out there. But then with the internet, it seems like there's an unwritten rule of. That's why I keep saying stuff like, "I don't get yourself banned" and all this, Toshi, because they make you feel like you're treading on eggshells with what you can and can't say. You know?
well, yeah, I mean, and also, well, things that actually, I mean, there was a line in Rockefeller's Secret Covenant where they said, "When a light shall shine amongst them, we will extinguish it with either ridicule or death, whichever suits us best." And yeah, all these scientists who have like suddenly come up with these free energy devices, mate, they all end up dying, and under mysterious and strange circumstances.
Yeah, they always go walkies. Yeah,
Well, yeah, because there's I mean, there is energy. Well, I mean, but that would help out humanity. But these people don't want it. Yeah, but free energy is everywhere. Like in the ether. I didn't even know that the ether existed until somebody pointed it out to me, and I was just like, another bit of information they've just hidden from us and made us so ignorant.
mate. Nicky Tesla, right? Nicky Tesla was chucking electricity around like people chuck around tennis balls at the park,
Yeah, he
mate.
was. Yeah, yeah,
And they didn't want none of it because they knew it's all around
yeah,
us. As you know, electricity is all around us right now.
yeah, yeah.
So this is there, but as soon as someone starts to farm it and and allow people to send it to each other or whatever, no, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Joe, the
Um,
ether actually used to appear on the periodic table, but they actually removed it.
uh,
Is that right? So there's a group of people who know what they're doing, and they're making everybody else just dumb.
see, Michael Alien, yeah, he knows about all this. Yeah,
Michael Alien.
yeah, bit stocks.
Oh,
Mickey Alien,
how,
Mickey Alien, mate.
how come you calling him Alien? What does that mean?
God, mate, he's an alien, isn't he? I reckon he's an alien, Tosh. Yeah, I reckon he is. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What gave you that opinion?
I just think he's the chosen one in East London for aliens. I think he's the one. Yeah, I think they singled him out and was right. He's the one. Yeah, he's smart. Number one, he's smart. Yeah,
It is, mate. Wicked smart.
well smart. Like some of his mates, when I met him at this party, they were telling me how smart he was at school and that.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and he was a goalkeeper as well, so that raised a red flag. I'm thinking East London goalkeeper. You're joking, mate. Everyone wants to be a centre forward in East London, but there he's a goalkeeper as well, so he's got a bit about. He's a bit geeky, and yeah, he was talking about aliens a long time ago, Toshi, wasn't he? And people were laughing at him. Do you remember?
I don't.
Well, basically, look, it's not that interesting, but he was on about aliens a long time ago, and everyone was like, "Michael, will you shut up about your aliens?" Yeah,
All right.
I
No
was, I
way.
was, I was leading the thing, but in hindsight, mate, no, I reckon he's an alien. But I was going to ask you, Toshi, do you think aliens are amongst us and all that? Are you one of those?
Well, mate, when I went back in history and started looking at the Sumerian kings list and the Sumerian tablets, and the information back in the day, like, mate, I had to. It made me really uncomfortable because, like, literally, I've been brought up with this standard kind of, what I thought was our history and what was and what wasn't possible. And when you start researching it and then you actually see evidence and then you meet people who have actually been silenced and they're just like, look, I actually experienced this firsthand. This is what happened to me. This is what they did to me. And this is when and where it happened. And like, they're literally describing it word for word with like, trying to deal with the trauma while they're telling you. It's hard to, it's hard to say, look, you're talking shit, mate.
There was a group of South African children, wasn't there, that were in a school playground that apparently saw an alien come down that traumatized them for life. But there was literally about 60 of them that saw it.
And mate, there's low, mate. When you actually start, a lot of this stuff just gets scrubbed because even if you went to go, like, for example, the guys in the army. The guys in the army they're told if they see something really peculiar, they have to sign an NDA. they're not allowed to talk about it. And whenever they do come forward, they would be sectioned for going mental. So the only people they can talk about it to are their other colleagues who actually witnessed it with them. And it's the same with fishermen. These fishermen's tales. The reason they're fishermen's tales is because only fishermen have experienced and witnessed a lot of things that they see, and they can't come out and tell anybody on land because, like, literally, they'll get locked up on purposely because the powers that be don't want this information getting out. They don't want people to know what actually really exists out there. It's nuts, mate. But then you see people who are capturing it on video. And then the usual thing is, oh, it's CGI, oh, it's fake. But you have a look closely, and it's just like, actually, AI and even Hollywood isn't that good. This is genuine.
I have seen an alien, right. I was fast asleep, and what's that touching? Who's tapping my? Get off, What's going on here? I turn around, bruv. There's a freaking alien stood at the end of my bed. Right? I'm like, mate, I ain't being funny. How'd you get in here, and what's going on? And you know what he said? He said, what you don't understand is... They started quoting Plato and disappeared, mate, in the spaceship out the window. No, I'm joking, mate. Look. What I was going to say to you, Toshi, was what is happening in the Bitcoin scene, because I've not actually looked at it for about 2.5 weeks.
Well, again, I mean, there's a lot of quite highly respected publications publicizing the achievement that Aerospike managed to create with Terranode, because it's never been done before. It's a world first. There is no single digital network that's been able to process 1 million transactions per second. So it's in all the magazines. And I say in all the magazines. I mean, like, I don't know all the tech magazines, but I've seen it. I've seen the same article published in at least 5 separate technical publications.
Interesting. Any timescale on when it's all happening?
Well, the BSV Association said the Q4 this year. Probably they said like late Q4, but I mean, they they seem really good at what they're doing. I mean, these guys are the best in the business. So, we'll see.
Interesting. And what's happening to the BTC price? Are they still singing the same tune? Or I don't suppose you pay attention to them, but I imagine it's
I still keep an eye on it.
What is it, about 60 grand still, is it?
I'll bring it up in just a second for you when my computer loads. Okay, that was not happening. Hold on. Hey, here we go. I know what I'll do. There we go. BTC is at $58,000.
Wow.
That had quite a bit of a dip today. We've got a 24-hour high of 59, a low of 56. Just bobbing along as usual. And then can have a look at Bitcoin down here. Down at number. Guess what number it's at?
83.
Close. 74. $42. Jeepers.
42 runty dollars, Toshi. Oh, dearie me.
I know.
Oh, Toshi.
It's bad, isn't it?
It is bad, mate. I'm just going to go to page 101 just out of interest and see what's lurking around there, right? And, we're looking at... I've just gone to page 101, Toshi, which I believe is the very last page, yeah?
On what?
On this coin market cap.
All right, yeah.
Right. And do you know how many coins I'm looking at in this list?
Oh, mate, last time I looked, there were about over 30,000.
Well, in this particular list I'm looking at here, it's 10,026.
Oof.
And I think there's maybe more if I press the button on. Is there another? Well, no, it stops at page 101, but there's 10,000 coins now. Do you know what I mean? So that's 10,000 potential people going out there telling businesses what they can do for them. Isn't it?
Yeah, mate, it's crazy. I see how
It
much.
is crazy.
See how many they got listed on a live coin watch.
I mean, you're up against Wrapped Doge, Stride
Yeah.
State. Stride State is two different versions. There's about 320 different versions of Stride Staked.
Oh, here we go. So live coin watch has got 37,314 cryptos listed.
You see, 37,000, mate. 37,000.
Oh my god.
How many currencies are there in the world right now? Like, not just what we would call fiat currencies or whatever.
Oh, well, each country's got their own. So
Yeah. Yeah, but they don't all use the. No, some use the same, don't they? Like in Africa, some of them use the Central African dollar or whatever.
yeah, well, the power of anybody who's in a position of authority can make a currency. It's just a securitized version of anything of value that they want to use as a medium of exchange.
Well, there's 180 recognized currencies in the world, not including cryptocurrencies, yeah?
Right.
So you've got 180 recognized currencies, assuming this ChatGPT 4 is right, yeah? And then you've just told me there's 30,000 cryptos,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Well, a lot of them are like ERC20 tokens on Ethereum.
Mate, loads of them are. You know, we used to laugh at that, but there's apps, there's loads of them are. It's unbelievable how many of them are actually, but you know they've all got market cap. I mean, even if you look at Bitcoin Cash, look at the market cap on it. I mean, look at the market cap on it though, Tosh. You know what I mean?
Market cap of Bitcoin Cash number 16. Market cap. Let's have a look. 6 billion.
6 billion. You know,
It's
above
alright.
it on mine, I've got Shiba Inu. Yeah, I mean, what is Shiba Inu?
Yeah.
Yeah?
7.8 billion.
Right,
Oh
and
my
I don't
god.
know what this means, right, in terms of circulating supply, because I don't even know how to say this number, Toshi. But I'm going to read the number to your viewers so they can hear it. It will take me about 10 seconds. You ready?
Yeah.
589,270,358,524,173 is the amount of circulating sheep. So if that's million, that's billion, that must be trillion. So 589,270,358,524,173 sheep.
Very, very impressive, mate.
Do you know
They've
what I mean?
got. Have you heard of Toncoin? I mean, again, it's like it's got a market cap of 16 billion, and literally all it was a massive pump and dump from the beginning. Like I'm looking at it right now, mate. Honestly, it's just it's an absolute joke, an absolute joke.
Well, how is Pepe number 25 then?
Well, exactly. I mean, the whole thing is an absolute joke.
Yeah, but you look how much money's involved in it now. Like I'm concerned for, I
Yeah.
mean, I hear what you're saying, but I'm a bit concerned for your you know, what you want to happen and how long it might take. I mean, even dog with hat is above BSV, right? Dog with hat. Use-
Oh god, seriously?
Yeah, yeah.
What number's that?
Well, on mine it's 49, and then believe it or not, number 52 you've got Bonk.
Yeah. Oh my god, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah,
dog with hat.
yeah. You know, these things are like above BSV.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just goes to show you that it's a massive psyop, mate, is what they call it. I mean, have you heard the other one they brought out? They had XRP, and now they got PRX.
Who made that one? Was it Shem? Was it?
Oh god, who knows, mate?
Or the PRX.
But I mean, gee, it just goes to show you what an absolute mockery it is. Like an
No,
absolute mockery.
yeah, but how do you you know, how do 45 of you on X sort this out? Like it's impossible, you know. I think you need
It's utility, mate.
BSV's reliant on Craig, isn't it? Like, because Craig is Terranode, yeah.
Oh, not really. I mean, Craig's stepped back now. He's not even on the board at Enchain, so he's kind of like blending. He's trying to blend into the background as you would if Terranode comes online. You're like somebody like
Well,
Craig doesn't want to be anywhere near the network once Terranode
as you
comes on.
would, mate, no, and I think you're being too kind. I think as you would if you got bummed the daylights out of yourself in court, going on about ninja suits and ice cream vans. Yeah, you'd hide forever, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you, Tosh? You know. I'd wear a disguise if I went out of the house. I'd never mention Plato again.
Well, we'll see, mate. We'll see. I mean, I think he's I think he's probably playing a wise move. I mean,
Yeah, but everything he does, you turn it into a conspiracy of excellence. Yeah, any move he does, every time he gets bummed, you spin it into, you know what? He's done that. He's got bummed on purpose. Right? He planned it all along. Right? His plan is to get bummed for the next 20 years. Yeah. But on the 21st year, because there's 21 million Bitcoin, that's when he doesn't get bummed.
yeah, but mate, that's other than Hodlnaut, which wasn't really anything. That's the end. That's the only case he's lost. I mean, he won the major ones. The High Court granted him copyright of the Bitcoin white paper. He won the Ara Kleiman case. And they were huge. And the Ara Kleiman case was a trial by jury. That carries more authority than any other case that he's ever been in. And he won that one hands down.
Well, we got bummed, mellow bummed, didn't he?
Yeah, but that was a it wasn't even a court judgment. It was a contract that he had with Copa to say, all right, yeah, we'll conduct this with only cross-examination, and we will agree to be bound by what the judge's opinion is. The whole thing was contempt of court. It's outrageous.
Yeah, but mate, I mean, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, you've got your point there, but it's not happening. Like what you're saying is not being contested in that fashion at all, is it?
But how do you mean?
He's been bummed, and he's had to put that on his all over his social media and his website, and he's been bummed. It's really, isn't it? I mean, of course, that's how people would view it away from BSV supporters.
Yeah. It's still there.
So yeah, I'm just going on there now, like, because I see. Oh no, well, is it CraigWright.net? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, he's still there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Basically, I'm not gonna. I still haven't read this. I've only ever had other people read it because I can't be bothered. But it basically says, "Look, I've been done. I'm a joke."
Yeah, but again, they're not using his name, are they? They're calling him Dr. Wright, not Craig.
Well, legal notice, Dr. Craig Stephen Wright. It says at the top, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. But again, Dr. Wright is his corporate maritime legal fiction. A legal fiction's got no authority and can't create or do anything.
Well, I don't think you'll get any comeback on what you're saying. Just for the record, people that listen to this, I think he's talking shite, right? And I think nothing will happen as fancy as it sounds with all this maritime talk. Yeah, he's been Toshi, mate.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with that. He's been absolutely royally screwed.
I mean, look at it. He's still there. He's a laughing stock. Can you imagine the joy this would bring? I mean, I've seen it when I wasn't banned from bloody X. Yeah, over Gandalf's son or daughter. You know, they were loving this, Toshi. It was like in terms of cryptocurrency, it was winning an Olympic gold medal.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hilarious, isn't it? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
what's all this? We're all Satoshi apart from this one guy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we're all Satoshi. The only person in the entire world who isn't is this guy right here. He's the only one that is most definitely not.
We're all Satoshi is a big shout, isn't it? I mean, that's a bit of a. If you're some joker who sat there on on your couch and that, and you're sitting there going, "Well, I'm Satoshi as well." Nah, no, you ain't. You ain't.
Well, someone has to be.
Yeah, of course. We're still. Who knows Toshi? Do you know?
Well, yeah, I know with all my heart and being and all the evidence that I've seen that Craig invented Bitcoin.
It's funny. As you said that, I was actually reading Fourth. Can you say what it says on Fourth Toshi on CraigWright.net?
Fourth, Dr. Wright is not the person who created the Bitcoin system. Yeah, well, again, that's Dr. Wright. I said Craig. He never mentions Craig in that document, and they won't ever.
Well,
because they know he did.
Only next to legal notice there, Dr. Craig Stephen Wright at the top.
Yeah, again, Doctor. Yeah, but it's all in capitals. Legal notice. It's removed from the document.
Doesn't count because it's in capitals, people. So they've mucked up there.
Yeah.
I'm being sarcastic, of course, but Toshi's been very serious. I mean,
Yeah, no, I get it, mate. I get it. I was in your position not long ago. I had no idea what was going on. I thought there was no significance of capital letters. I was just like, well, yeah, it's just capitals. What does that mean? Everything has a meaning to it, but it's just people are ignorant of it. But the thing is though, as in law, ignorant is no excuse, and it's just like holy shit. This is all this stuff you're learning. So this is the deception that they're pulling over you.
well, for that, I don't think so, Toshi. I think he's been bummed, and I don't think he's going to appeal it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, mate. The truth will come out in the end.
Well, I thought you were saying the other day that if he does appeal it, this can come down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's applied to appeal it. Once the appeal has been granted, then I'm pretty sure he'll take it down.
Yeah, I mean, look at him, man. He just looks like a right bellend here, doesn't he? And he was really, honestly, he does. I mean, I think it was really funny the way he got absolutely mullered within seconds by that Mella. And then,
Yeah, but how?
well, because he just literally said at the end of the court case, listen, mate, you're a joke. See you later. I'm going to have my dinner
Yeah,
now.
but based on what?
But look, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about what he said.
Well,
Which
yeah,
was,
but he said that based on what, and he's not signed anything.
which in my language sounded like you're an absolute bellend. You've wasted all our time. You've wasted all their money. You've wasted all this week.
Yeah, but his judgment is meant to, he has got no right. He's got no authority to make his own opinion a ruling judgment, which is why he didn't sign it. There is nobody saying that Craig is a liar or fraud, and nobody saying that Craig didn't invent Bitcoin. There is no one saying it.
It says here on his website, though.
It says Dr. Wright.
Oh, it's CraigWright.net, though. It says it on here. You know?
I know, mate, but it's deception, a bit like fiat currency.
Right, I'll tell you what I'm looking at. Listen to this, viewers. I'm looking at the top line says CraigWright.net.
Yeah, mate, I've got it on the screen.
The second is a picture that says CW. The third says Craig Wright in blue. The fourth says legal notice. And the fifth says Dr. Craig Stephen Wright. Is not Satoshi Nakamoto. That's just breakfast. Yeah. And then it goes into the rest. So it calls him Dr. Wright, Dr. Craig Stephen Wright, Craig Wright, and if you want to go by the website as well, CraigWright.net. So, make what you want of that one, people. But I think SirToshi's literally desperate, clutching at silly things. Yeah. And I'm happy to be wrong if I'm wrong, but I think that's just desperate. They wouldn't do a whole court case if they were going to, not forget to put capital letters or whatever you're trying to claim here on some maritime laws or whatever going on. It's ridiculous. It's desperation.
Yeah, but like I said before, as I read out, Lord Sumpton, former Lord Chief of Justice, he was the one that said the British public have not even begun to understand the seriousness of what is happening in our country. Many, perhaps most of them, don't care, a bit like yourself, yeah, or won't care until it's too late, probably like yourself again. They instinctively feel that the end justifies the means, the motto of every totalitarian regime that ever existed. A totalitarian regime is unaccountable.
He's just trying to confuse you and make himself sound like he's some specialist in economics or some big...
Mate, I just read it.
He's not, right? He doesn't know what he's on about, yeah? He's trying to tie in this person's words with the fact that Craig has got on his website, he is not Satoshi Nakamoto, right? Don't let him pull the wool over your eyes, people. I'm merely pointing out what it says on his website in big, bold letters. Yeah, whatever this guy is on about the British public, which I do care about, just for the record.
Oh,
it, for me, is not linked at all to what is on CraigWright.net website. Yeah, this guy looks like a shambles. He looks like a liar, and he looks like a fraud, and he looks like a joke. Yeah, but people like yourself, Toshi, continue to find any angle you possibly can to try and justify this man's failures.
All right, well, just tell me in your opinion or anything, what has Craig ever actually done that you think is either fraudulent, immoral, or wrong?
Well, I'm not really that interested yet because I don't study.
But just one thing. What's he ever done?
I can answer the question, right? If you'll allow me to,
Yeah.
without repeating that over and over again like a baby, right? I don't really care about him as much as you do. Yeah, he's not like a hero to me or nothing like that. I only try to get hold of him to talk about business, right? Which I've been trying to explain. He ain't some big man for me. I did think he was, like I say at the start, a bit of a fighter and all that, but I don't study him like that. All I'm looking at is what's on his CraigWright.net, which, if I'm honest, from time to time I used to go and read those articles on there.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So now I'm looking on there, and I'm only saying what he's had to put there, Tosh. So it's not personal opinion. It's not all this hearsay or what I personally believe about him, because I don't study him to those levels at all. I was well interested in him at first, but not at all anymore. Right? So here we have ourselves looking at what's on his website, Toshi, and it's there in big bold letters, bruv. And a lot of you are in denial about it, and you're trying to find any sort of angle as to not taking that information, because it's too difficult for you to take in, because to you guys, he is a hero. He is a legend.
If Craig agreed with what was on his website right now, he wouldn't be appealing the decision.
Well, he's lost, hasn't he, is what I'm saying, in most people's eyes. Like at the moment, as we stand now, he's been bummed and he looks like a joke.
Yeah, but if Craig agreed with what had happened to him, he wouldn't appeal it, would he? So he clearly doesn't agree with what's gone on.
But this wouldn't be here if he hadn't got bummed in court either. If you want to go back one step further, how this got here in the first place.
Well, this loss has cost him over £7 million.
Well, yeah, he spends that down a fish and chip shop, though, Tosh. You and I both know that.
Well,
right?
yeah, but so where's the money coming from?
Well, I don't know. Again, I don't know these things.
Again,
but,
you don't know. I mean, use a bit of common sense.
Mate, I don't study.
There's a guy here claiming to be Satoshi Nakamoto that doesn't agree with the ruling that somebody said he's not.
Mate, I don't know, Toshi, right? You are the expert in these things. I don't study him, okay? I'm here to learn if you've got the answers, but a lot of your answers do sound desperate.
Well, shall I tell you about the Ira Kleiman case? That was about a contract that was formed with Craig that sent 1,100,111 Bitcoin over to his friend David Kleiman, who set up a trust for him in the Seychelles that's legit, containing 1.1 million Bitcoin. That at the time was created on the 9th of June 2011, represented 42% of the overall circulating supply at the time. Who else would have that other than who else would have that amount of Bitcoin other than the creator of the network himself?
Yeah, but that news, that news don't get out there, does it? And we have this conversation a lot.
Exactly, yeah. So why doesn't that news get out there? It's a conspiracy, man.
Well, because you lot are just garbage on social media is the answer I usually come up with. And unambitious people, yeah, and not prepared to get these things out in the right way without getting yourself banned off YouTube or shadow banned or whatever. But these things don't tend to get out there, Toshi. Even if he appeals this, remember I keep saying it, even if he appeals this and he wins or whatever, if he appeals it and he wins, that news will not get out there anywhere. And you're up against all of that. You're up against 30,000 coins.
Ah, so you recognise that then?
Recognise what?
You recognise what you've just said. This won't get out there because the media is biased. They don't want it to get out.
Nothing he does get out there. Don't act all surprised at that, because nothing ever does get out there. It gets out to about 45 of you lot. So there's no surprise here, right? And the climate stuff isn't out there, apart from people like yourself reading it for 10 seconds on your shows, which, not very respectfully at the moment, not many people are, not an amount of people to really make an impact kind of thing, So the stuff doesn't get out there, Tosh, And I think to get stuff out there, you need better than Gavin Mail. You need better than CoinGeek. Otherwise, it won't get out there.
Yeah, but I'm just a one-man band, mate. I'm just, putting stuff out there. I mean, I've got the people who listen to my show. I've got a core understanding of what's going on. There is no way anybody is going to be able to hoodwink them because they're not stupid.
You don't want a circle jerk, though, do you? The thing is, you don't want a circle jerk. That's what a lot of the BSV media is. It's just a circle jerk. And what I mean by that, people, is a load of people that just agree with one another and lift each other's confidence temporarily because they all agree with one another. For example, a load of Arsenal fans going, Arsenal are great. Arsenal are really great. Whereas the football shows that do well, really well, there are good Arsenal ones, but the ones that cover everything that do really well, because obviously they attract a lot more people, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, circle jerks don't work at all. And a circle jerk for me would be defined as a very small group of people that all agree with one another all the time, and there's never anything else worthy of discussion or anything of substance that people might want to sort of watch. At least with us two, we in the spirit of gentlemanly conduct, disagree on stuff a lot, which is, I think it's quite fun actually, Toshi. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, because it gets boring listening to the same old opinion over and over again. But look, I'm waffling now, but I'm trying to say, Toshi, the stuff just doesn't get out there. And unless you want, you know, unless if you really want it to get out there, you've got to get it out there. And if Terranode is all it is, then, you know, how many people really care about Terranode?
Well, we'll see, won't we? That's what I'm saying. The race is about to start, and I'm trying to tell people about it.
No, the race has started a long time. It started 15 years ago.
It didn't, mate. It didn't. It started on the 14th of January, 2020. which was just 4 years, which was just over like a little bit over 4 years ago. You know, and within that 4 years, the horizontal scaling problem has been solved, which will unleash, you know, unbounded scaling potential for all these tech companies that are currently struggling with it because they just haven't got the, you know, the technology or the equipment to deal with large volumes of transactions. Whereas when they do, you're basically going to unleash the potential of the internet.
And you think there's no other solution available, full stop, for these people? No, the only solution they have in the entire world is by Dr. Craig Wright, yeah?
That's right.
Okay. Fair enough, Toshi. I admire your faith in this guy. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Cheers. Appreciate it.
Have you got a poster of me in your wall?
mate, I'm thinking about putting a poster of me and you up on the wall. That's what it is, you know. Remind me of the good old times.
Much better looking than him, mate. You know, you get much more attention. Everyone will be asking you about that post. Go, who are them two? Look at them two chaps up there, wouldn't they? Tosh. Right? But no, I find you guys' faith in him is mad, mate. It's you know, it's fair. It's up to you guys, but I'm not on that page, Toshi, at all. Yeah, I like the aggressive.
Craig just hasn't done anything I can see that is unlawful, unethical, fraudulent. He's never asked anybody for any money. Like I just don't get what people's beef with him is.
Well, you know what? I think first of all, people don't like his personality, do they?
Well, he's Asperger's, you know, but he's improved a lot.
That's what you always say, you know. But I'm just saying, Toshi, people don't like his personality at all, and that's always a bad starting point, isn't it?
It's not a personality contest, though, is it? It's going to be a utility contest at the end of the day.
And it is like people like Donald Trump and that, yeah, because they like his personality. Right, and he's aware of that because he ain't stupid like Craig in terms of social media and just social in general. And again, you'll make excuses for him, and every time he screws it up, you'll just say, "Oh, it's because he's this and that and the other." But people don't like him, mate. You know, he's not, in my opinion, he's not a likable character. Like I say, aggression is what I liked. Yeah, I like the scar on his head, and I like the fact that he looked like he wanted to go into a 50-50 tackle with his studs up, no matter what was coming the other way. Yeah, I like those sorts of people, Toshi, i.e. Roy Keane's, winners who want to get stuck in and clash in the middle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next, right, I like that. But, you know, for me, it's lost his appeal a bit. I think he's fighting on his own. There seems to be no one really backing him up. There's nothing else of substance coming out. All these other businesses that have been invested in seem to be disappearing off the face of the earth.
Yeah, but the utility will do the speaking for him. That is it. He's always said that from the beginning. He's like, utility wins out. So let's see if he's correct. I think he is.
Well, fair enough. But then, you know, Bitcoin don't really appeal to me that much in terms of if it's literally just a ledger like we were saying about the salmon or whatever, or yeah, the 300 million of these.
It's not just a ledger, is it? It's fine. Finally, we've got a digital network that we can use for all our digital requirements. Where we can't get spied on. You know, literally, like, you know, HD, everything from HD streaming down to, you know, emails, phone calls, communication, social media, everything can be used for everything.
Well, why are you doing it then? You going to build these things or not?
I might well do, actually. It's on my list of things to do.
He'll get round to it, yeah. He'll get round
I've
to
got a
it.
bucket list. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Toshi, mate. No, I mean, wow, you got your work cut out, mate. And
I have.
with this Terra node, yeah. I mean, you got to hope and pray that as well that it works
Well,
properly.
yeah, but they've already tested it.
Well, a test is a test, right? I did try and explain this before that when tests have gone on that network before, our transactions have gone bad.
Mm.
That actually happened, right? That's not just slating BSV before everyone starts crying about how I'm being horrible. No, I'm not. I'm
But if
just an.
your things though, you said that before though, but that sounded more like a wallet problem rather than a network problem.
It wasn't a wallet problem at all, right? Because we ended up blaming Handcash because they wouldn't take the blame. We were thinking it was them, but then we found out no, it wasn't them. This happened because no one updated things.
Hmm.
People couldn't be bothered to do stuff and all that. It was just rubbish. Yeah. And Dean, what's that?
Dean Little.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. He said the same. He just said it's shit. And at the time, I was like, well, that's a bit arrogant. But then, we went back to that a couple of times thinking, well, that's probably why he said it, really. Because when you actually use it, that's what I mean, Toshi. Like a lot of you people, I'm not sort of being disrespectful or arrogant, but a lot of you talk about it from the aspect of not having used it, especially in business as well. When you're reliant on transactions and you're reliant on these things going through every single time. And like I always say when I say this, it was pretty good. But there was a couple of occasions where they were doing either stress tests or things going, big tests and that, where things went wrong. And there was a couple of occasions where things weren't updated, where things went wrong. Right?
Interesting.
So that's just giving an honest appraisal. But 98% of those transactions went through fine.
Well, we shall have to see, mate.
And that's just a small cross-examination, people. I'm not giving it the big one. We didn't do that much business. We only done, like 60 grand or something in micro-transactions, which is a lot of transactions, but
Mate, that's huge. That's massive.
bad. It ain't bad, Toshi. I mean, we wanted much more than that. We were disappointed with that, if I'm honest.
Wow. Well, then, mate, congratulations. I mean, that's impressive for a business using Bitcoin. Because there aren't any others that can do that. You still there?
Believe it or not, Jack Dorsey, because we wanted to work with Twitter directly. But since then, social media engagement's taken a different turn now, and you see all these platforms like TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, and they've all monetized it, in ways that does work for people. So really, the way that we were doing things, we would have had to adapt to that anyway, Toshi. Right? And I don't think a social media platform wants a third party getting involved in its advertising model. Do you know what I mean? But we may well have inspired some of the ways that they do things, because some of the systems they do work like what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. And the other thing is as well that you can do it on fiat. That's the other thing. So this is what when I'm saying just a ledger, Toshi, right? What I mean is, like, imagine you're doing something like that and you're pinging around all these transactions all around the world, and it's exciting, and social media engagement and all that sort of stuff. For me, that's a much more interesting area than salmon or these people you're talking about in terms of what I would like to do. So I suppose you've got to find those entrepreneurs that are interested in those types of things and data sets and all that, whatever, and they might really enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. Like, I've got it on my bucket list of things to do, mate. Because like, there's nobody out there educating on the fundamentals of this thing. Which the fundamentals speak for themselves. They are fundamentals, and there's nobody talking about it other than me. So I was just like, jeepers.
Again, but you want to use it, though, Toshi. Like, no sort of disrespect to it, but you might have a different opinion of some of it if you actually were using it in business or something. I'm telling you.
Yeah, mate. Well, you've triggered my curiosity even more, mate. I shall have to increase my technical knowledge.
Well, all it was with us was a coder who knows how to code on the network, whether that be BSV or Algorand. or any of these things, yeah, like a decent coder, not one of these yappy ones who think they're good, a decent one, and they should be able to quickly allow for the movements of any cryptocurrency, really, depending on how difficult or simple the APIs are that the coin has provided for usage. If that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
If they really want, they can just go right from the just do it themselves from the bottom upwards kind of thing. But it's interesting. All you need is a coder and demand for a product. And like I say, at the time, Toshi, we were looking at social media engagement in BSV, thinking these lot of jokers, mate. They don't know what they're doing. We need to try and provide something to help them. So if you get in that situation where you think, right, you know what, these people definitely need this because they're shit, or because they just need it, or for whatever reason, right? And then you think you can ping things about in it, great. But then the next thing you've got to worry about, in my opinion, is how desirable is the money that you're giving out. Because, like I say, the boxing fans didn't want nothing to do with it, Toshi. It took us a very, 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 very long time to even find one that was interested in BSV, that actually wanted it. And even when they got it, they were like, mate, what do I do with this shite? This is shite. I can't do nothing with it. And they're literally starting on us.
Oh, but mate, people like to back winners. Like, all I'm trying to do is, like I said, the race hasn't even started yet. But believe you me, like when there is an obviously clear winner that starts to emerge, mate, honestly, it is going to be embarrassing seeing people turn. Literally, they will have no shame whatsoever. Oh, actually, I always knew that was going to win. Yeah. I was just yeah. Mate, honestly, mate, we've seen it before. We've seen it before. It happened. Literally, there is nothing new under the sun, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, right? I disagree with what Toshi just said, because in a race, yeah, when I was racing at school, I used to like the 100 meters, so you could explode out the blocks, right? The race has started, people. Yeah, you're getting bummed in the race, BSV. That's what's happened. If you're going to put your hand up and be honest, right? The race is on. Let's be honest.
But that's an opinion. I'm trying to explain to you that why our opinions differ.
He's saying the race hasn't started, and BTC is sat there at 60 grand. And
because they pumped it with Tether. It's a pile of shit, mate. And you know
saying,
it.
Yeah, well, it don't look good to me because I don't know HODL. I don't understand it, right? Maybe my IQ's not big enough to understand HODL or whatever, yeah, but I personally don't understand it. But you're saying the race ain't started, they're at 68 grand, you're getting bummed all over the park, right? They've got a massive, and we always talk about the same old thing. They're the Coca-Cola of cryptocurrency, and please don't go into conspiracy and get yourself banned. I'm just talking about the soft drink that's in every single supermarket in the fridges, yeah? Coca-Cola, the one that's been there since we were babies, right? They are the Coca-Cola of cryptocurrency, Toshi. And whether those things are important or not, right? It's the way it is. BTC is absolutely mullered everyone. That's why they were so desperately trying to get the BTC ticker back when it was BCH. And again, bummed again. Didn't work out, did it?
Yep.
And then also, just on the subject of BCH, 10 grand BCH, Jimmy Win. No, 48 fucking dollars BSV. Yeah? Fucking clowns, mate. 10 grand BSV. Remember that, Toshi? Remember speaking to each other on the phone? Tosh, have you heard what he said?
Yeah.
No, Nick, calm down. What's going on? It's going 10 grand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest with the people, eh? Just tell them how we were behind the scenes, right? We were jumping for joy thinking we're going 10 grand and there's nothing anyone can do about it because Jimmy Wynn said it. And we never went anywhere near 10 grand, did we? In fact, by the time it started fighting, we disappeared into another coin and it broke off again and chained again.
Yeah, but I mean, back in the day, it was all, it was all speculation and hot air, wasn't it?
Yeah, but then the thing is, it still is, Toshi, for a lot of people. Again, we have this conversation a lot where a lot of the people in BSV try and make out that I got a master's though. I don't talk about the price. No, shut up. It's about the price. Here's about the price, mate.
Yeah, but like as I've said, price is an indicator, but it is meant to represent the hard work, all the effort, hard work, and investment that has gone in prior. So therefore, it's the last metric to move, which means it's the least of all metrics that matter. You need to look under the bonnet.
Yeah, I know, but I'm looking under the BTC bonnet, and their price has moved a lot this
There's
year.
nothing under that bonnet, mate. They've
Mate,
restricted it.
there's a lot of marketing and a lot of people who are very good on social media under that bonnet, whether you
Mate, they've
like
got a
it or not.
hairdryer. They've got a hairdryer under the bonnet. Nothing
Mate,
else.
they've got bloody Michael Saylor's numbers under that bonnet, which none of you can compete with anywhere near the salt. They've got people like Jack Dorsey on their side, which none of you can compete with. And I'm talking on a social media level, okay? I'm not talking about what the tech does and this, that, and the other. I'm talking about purely on social media. It's impossible for any of you types of people to compete with people like that on social media. It is impossible, and that's what's underneath their bonnet.
Mate,
Yeah?
have you heard Jack Dorsey presenting or talking?
A couple of times, yeah.
Mate, I'm laughing because I've also seen him talking and presenting as well.
Yeah, the
It's
last one I
just
listened to
shaking
was
my
about,
head, mate.
last one that I listened to was about algos and that he was talking about, and he was saying something like in the future, social media platforms may actually allow you to decide which algo you go under. And I thought that was quite an interesting concept. So he's
Yeah,
very
maybe.
advanced when it comes to social media, and he certainly knows it, whether you think he's stupid or
Yeah, but I'm
not.
talking about his social skills.
I mean, again, I mean, I ain't being funny. You're talking about his social skills, but you're going to sit there and, you know, you won't have a bad word said about Craig's, because every time a bad word said about Craig's, it's Asperger's.
But yeah, I'm not saying that Craig is good. I'm saying he's improved a lot. But I mean, what's Jack Dorsey's excuse?
Mate, I mean, I don't see. I've seen nothing wrong. I've only seen him on business things where he seems to talk a lot of sense to me. That's all I can say. And he sold Twitter for a lot of money. So he's obviously an
44
entrepreneur.
billion.
Well, he's obviously an entrepreneur that's of interest to me then, isn't he? So
Yeah.
a lot of these things, Toshi, I only watch from a business point of view. Like, you know, you were saying about Mr. Beast, yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming on about him. The only things I've seen about him is I've seen one of his things where it was boring for me, but I just wanted to see how he did it. But then the only other things I've seen about him, Toshi, is how he built up his YouTube channel. How he built up his YouTube channel. That's all I ever watch.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't build up your YouTube channel if YouTube are restricting it, which is what they're doing to a lot of people.
Well, exactly, and he talks about stuff like that and what you should and shouldn't be saying, and the unfortunate unwritten rules of some of these things. Like, he talks about that, you know. So the only reason why I would study someone like him is because what I've told you last time. If I'm starting a YouTube channel, I think, well, who's number one? Who is the very best? And he was coming up. Well, okay, well, how's he done it? That's it. That's all I need to know. I don't need to watch all of his shows now, but I'll be honest, I've watched shows like How Ridiculous. Yeah, they're well funny, mate. These Australian kids, yeah. No, that's like, I'd say that's a similar type of show to what he does, but they're Australian, so it's a bit easier to stomach. You know what I mean?
Oh, all right.
But these guys are getting 2-3 million views a show, Toshi.
Jeepers, really?
Yeah, within minutes of putting them out, right? So there's a guy called Ants Canada that I watch, and he does this vivarium. Have you heard of him? Probably
I've not.
Right? I'm not going to recommend him, but he's just something that comes up in my thing when I was looking for these YouTubers that are growing in numbers, right? And he bought a massive vivarium for his house, and he was sort of filming it like a David Attenborough style documentary, on like a mini nature documentary in this vivarium. And I've just watched him grow and how he's done it. Brilliant. But he's within an hour or two, he'll have 100k views on a video within an hour or two.
Tell me who these people are so I can search for them.
Well, the last one I was talking about was Ants Canada.
Ants Canada.
And then the last one I was talking about before that was a group of Australian guys called How Ridiculous. But I like what they do with their shop as well, because a lot of the stuff that they do in their videos, they end up selling it in their shop for a lot of money. Yeah.
And are they YouTube channels?
Yeah, these are YouTube channels and people. Yeah.
All right.
But but with Mr. Beast, like, there's good stuff out there, Toshi. How he grew his YouTube numbers, which is all I was really interested in.
Right. Interesting, mate.
That's what I mean. Like, and then when you hear all that stuff, you realise that conspiracies and all that probably aren't a great idea, because there's unwritten rules and all that.
Yeah. Nobody wants to expose the truth.
But then once you're at a certain point, like Andrew Tate, and you are actually famous and people do care about you, then you can say what you want, and then your numbers won't be affected. It's got too big a pull anyway. But the problem with what you're saying is, I think 2 shows ago, you're sitting there waiting. I don't think you should, mate. I honestly reckon you should. You've got the ability. to have a lot of good discussion on a show of many different subjects, engage a lot of people, and then perhaps start slipping in things that you know about Bitcoin. Because even if you look at some of that, pardon me, Toshi, there to slightly butt in, but even if you look at COVID stuff that's coming out now, you've now got people like Stephen Bartlett talking about it.
Yeah.
Right, where it seems to be okay now to talk about that now. Okay, there's an unwritten rule that now says you can now say ivermectin. It's everyone like a bloody email that goes around or something. Ivermectin's all right now.
Then the next one's Mpox, isn't it? Yeah, it sounds like a boy band.
It sounds like a disease. No, do you know what I mean, Toshi? Though, but so there's these unwritten rules of how these people do things. But a YouTube channel can be built up with strategy, and it doesn't require sitting there sucking Craig Wright's balls at all. He doesn't know what he's doing on social media anyway. But any one of you could build up a social media channel on YouTube to big numbers, just by looking at how the others do it. But I don't know if any of you's really up for doing that, because you've got to be brave, mate. You've got to go beyond the circle jerk, and you've got to start really entertaining people. And in my opinion, Toshi, not a single one of these people that I've been studying say, don't show your face. Do not show your face. Not a single one of them said that.
Well, mate, I can tell you we've got one live listener on Twitch, mate.
Wow.
He just messaged me.
Yeah. They're having a great time today, that
Mate,
single one.
where there's one, there'll be another.
Well, whoever that viewer is, welcome to the show.
Exactly, yeah, mate. Yeah, journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single footstep. We got one. There we go.
Have a great time, yeah. Have a great time. Have a great weekend for this person who's listening. But you know what I'm saying, Toshi, right? I mean, not a single one of them says don't show your face, yeah. Like, I think you're too paranoid. You think people are after you now? No one's after you, bruv. Like people like Andrew Tate, he should be paranoid.
Mate, I'm not good looking enough.
Mate, shut up. You know, it's your personality comes through when people can see your face, mate, and everyone knows it, and then people warm to it, and then you start getting more of an audience. I think. I reckon if me, you, and Shem had showed our faces, we would have had 10 times more.
Well, yeah, mate. You and Shem are the good-looking lads. Do you know what I mean? Show your faces on there and all that.
Mate, doesn't Shem look like Alf Garnett?
Oh, I've gone out. Who's that again?
Let's go and search him.
I'll search him when we finish the show.
No, he's a TV actor, mate. He's all right. Go on, just quickly look at Alf Garnett. Go on, you'll love it. It's well funny. Go on, Toshi. Go on. For me, it's a spitting image.
I do remember the name.
Yeah, he's actually played by a Jewish guy, but he portrayed a semi-racist English bloke.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, spitting image of Shem. Would you say? I would.
Can't quite see it myself, but everybody's entitled to.
To me, he looks like a young Shem.
Right. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, it's been good, mate. We've been going for 1 hour 20 minutes, and my missus is saying that there's food ready.
Beautiful, mate, Toshi. Yeah, you watch your food, man. Don't let him make you fat, mate. Have a heart attack,
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mate, if ever you want to chat again, just send me a message. We'll get it going. It's been good. I always use these sessions as a bit of therapy.
Nice, mate. Well, I always use them to have a nice little chuckle, elbow to elbow, Smith and Jones style.
Good.
And, yeah, it's a good chat, Toshi, mate. And thank you very much indeed. Loved it.
All right, mate. We'll chat again to everybody listening. We will see you later.